Hey guys, how you doing? Today we are going to be going over a couple of different things. We're going to go over how to do plate lines. I have the Jedi laser line in my video. Sorry about that. I'm getting my arms cut off. Anyways, we're going to go over plating. We're going to go over sanding. For the expert modeler, we're going to be going over how to use a Dremel hobby style router. And I'm going to show you, remember yesterday I picked out that battle damage? I want to show you how nice that shows up. So I black base the piece, and I'm going to do a 3-layer dry brush on this bad boy and show you exactly the kind of results you can expect to get, which I think you'll be impressed with. I've always really liked them myself personally. But let's start off with plating. This is a piece right here that I've already plated, okay? Because I wanted to show you what it'll look like when you're done, and I want to show you the process that you go through to get it to this point, okay? Now, this is one of the things that it doesn't really matter which way you go at it, so I'll explain. If you are an expert at dry brushing, or if you're just pretty doggone good, and you have a heavy, even hand, which I've done a lot of modeling, which I have, you can go right in and do your metal plating right off the bat, okay? Because what'll happen is you'll base it out in whatever color you want. You might even get the color to show through if you're lucky. I've had that happen before. If it's like a lighter color, like a cream or a white or something like that. But even with a dark color, like I'm obviously black basing mine. When you indent this and you hit it with, like, let's say a medium gray or something, you give it a nice light dry brushing. All those recessed lines are going to just pop out. They'll look beautiful, okay? But let me show you how I go about doing this, okay? What I do is get just standard 3x5 card. You can use anything. You can use a block of wood. You can use a hunk of foam. Anything that gives you a good 90-degree angle surface will do the trick, okay? So what I do is I try and go off of whatever my horizontal line surface is. And a lot of these, virtually everything in the set is notched to give you a 90-degree angle automatically, okay? So that's my reference point right there. I can base all my lines right off of that notch, and that's what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to a section on it where and try and line it up off of some 90-degree angle. It could be a vertical 90, it could be a horizontal 90. It doesn't matter. But to give it a unified look, you want to base it off of one of the two 90s, preferably both, which is what I'm going to do right here. So I kind of line it up, put my finger down so it doesn't move, and then I just drag my pen across it. And you'll notice that it'll work better in one direction than another. That's normal. Like I said, this has got a grain to it. I saw cut mine sometimes, so it'll have a saw pattern on it. That could affect it. But it'll look fine. It's always worked out well for me. So I've got like my first line down there. Bang. Okay? Now, this is training wheels. My objective, remember I was saying that Nick said within a half an hour he was just popping them out of the sprue? This is your training wheel start. Training wheel beginning, for lack of a better phrase. You're gonna, after doing this for 10-15 minutes, you'll get so used to drawing small distance straight lines. I don't recommend it for long lines, but short lines I certainly do recommend it for. That you'll just want to start hand drawing stuff in. Okay? particularly your connection points. Connection point lines are just like lines across the surface here. Like for instance, I'm right here right now. Looks pretty sweet. And you've got these lines that come to an edge. So what I'm going to do, like this line right here, I'm just going to take that line and I'm just going to visually, I usually start it, and I'll draw my end point. So I've got 2 points there. I've got an end point. It's hard to see. I got my starting point, I got my ending point. Okay? Then all I do is connect the dots. And then bang, I've got my metal seam line. If you want to go with metal look. And the other thing is you don't have to line things up. People are used to, the human brain is used to seeing seams come together at hard edges. So I don't have to continue that line all the way around. I certainly don't have to continue lines that go into crannies. Like on this one, I specifically did not continue that line in on the inside. I could have if I wanted to, but it's a pain in the butt. There's a lot of curves in this set, and it's just not something that I really need to do. You know, that's another curve line I could have continued on through, just didn't want to. You know, so don't feel like you've got to play connect the dots on all of these. This is just a rough impression of what you want to do. So on that note, I'll just leave it alone. Like I said, after about 10 minutes, you can just start hand drawing this stuff in. Just, you know, boom, boom, boom. Okay? See how fast I did that? Boom, boom, boom. It's nothing. So it's just something you need to do, like I said, for 5-10 minutes, and it'll be a done deal. Now sanding. This is an example of an edge. Always work on something that's a scrap piece before you work on your own piece, because I might have accidentally grabbed like 80 grit or something. I might be just ripping the hell out of my edges, and I don't want to be doing that. But like I said, this is a 120, I want to say. Yeah, 120. 120 doesn't seem to give me any kind of a rough edge, and it seems to remove a decent amount of material for the work. So it's the happy medium. You don't want to be going at this with 1,000 grit. You'll be at it all day to get a nice curvature like that. Now, by comparison, this inside edge, this is the sanded edge that's hand sanded at 120 grit. This inside edge here, I did with my Dremel tool, a Dremel Router. So, what's a Dremel Router? Here's a Dremel tool. If you've watched my channel, I don't pull it out a lot, but I do use it. So, I mean, if you go back, I'm sure you'll find a couple videos that use this. This right here creates a flat surface that I can place down, and I can run my router edge along the edge of whatever I've got, and whatever kind of tip I've got in here, I've got a really small quarter round. So it doesn't show that it took off a lot. You know, it's not a lot that it took off, but it broke that edge real nicely. It's not a crisp, sharp edge anymore. It's got a nice, small curve to it. You can get these, I mean, you can probably get up to a 1/4 inch quarter round, which will be plenty. And with it being a 1/2 inch material, it'll almost have, it basically have a perfect curvature the entire way around. So anyways, but this is a hand router, and I'm just going to hand router something real quick. You can do inside, outside curves, it doesn't really matter. So here we go. Always read all safety instructions when you're working with power tools and all that. You know what I'm talking about. Now a lot of these are small pieces, so use your common sense. you might even be able to do one whole half inside the sprue. That would probably be the safest. The only thing I wouldn't do is I wouldn't go into your notches. Anything that you're recognizing as a notch, you don't want to router that. Why? Because you want that to look like it's designed to fit together snug. So anything that's a notch, don't router, okay? But, and it's a little bit rough. Not, you know, not terribly. But, as you can see, I knocked off the edge. It's a little bit of fluff. You want to run it on a, you might get less at a high speed. I like to keep it at a slower speed myself, so I feel like it gives me a little more control. And again, if you want to just clean it up a little bit, I just grab my 120, I rub it across there. And pretty much that mostly disappears. I won't say it'll entirely disappear, but it'll mostly disappear. So anyways, where are we at? 11 minutes. Okay, quick demonstration on my battle damage. Okay. Where is my, there it is. Wasn't that funny yesterday when I had that razor knife in front of me the whole time? God. If I had a quarter for every time that happened, I could retire. Okay. Just loading up my brush real quick. The important thing with battle damage is that you want to get the color down in the area that's been battle damaged. I'm just going to hit the battle damaged areas, because I don't think I've got time to really work over all of this. So I'm just going to work up my battle damaged areas. Again, you want to get down, you don't want to totally cover your black, but you want to get down in there a little bit. Probably best to show it here. I feel like I'm on my old 10-minute videos where I had no time to show you guys anything. But there's a little bit, here we go, light's a little bit better. You want to get down the cracks, you want to show off what's being done. I'm going to hit that a little bit harder, but there and there. And what I'll do when I'm done with this is I'll probably go back and redo the whole thing. This is just a real quick how-to to get you started and get you moving. Okay, so I've gone with my Storm Gray. I am moving on to Antique Nickel. That'll be my intermediate color. Remember, you want to divide your coverage by the total number of colors you're working with. So, if I'm working with 3 colors, and black is my base, I want to go 75% coverage with my first layer, 50% coverage with the second layer, 25% coverage with the third layer. Okay, that'll give you a nice, smooth transition between your base tone to your highlight. Like I said, I'm doing this mega fast. I've never done it with just these, not painting the whole fig, you know what I'm saying? So you still want to get down in your crevices, but you want that transition of color between your low and your high. So I'm doing this real quick. Usually when you're doing stuff really quick, it doesn't work out quite as well as you'd like it to. So this is strictly a... Oh, by the way, Gray Sky Americana is my highlight tone. And this one you want just 25% coverage. It doesn't really work necessarily well for bullet holes so much, but when you pick out... I didn't hit this one up as much as I wanted to. But you want just to pop it. Just to have the color pop out. Okay. I can't see what you're seeing, which means I don't know if you're seeing what I want you to see. I want to make sure you're getting it. But that's super duper duper fast. Like I said, I will work this stuff up. I was super rushed. Well, you know how rushed it is. You're watching the video. And I'll show you how this stuff looks like in a final state. Actually, if you want things to look burnt, a quick trick is to not paint some of your blackened areas. Paint up, say, 75% of the areas and leave 25% of the sections of this black as if it was burnt. And that looks really sexy too. So I'll in a later video I'll show this worked up. But that's your how-to for today. Love you guys. Bye-bye.